Hello team, it's Friday and I'm going to show you a hopefully quick demo for the new hosting DevOps platform that we are building for the YMCA hosting platform for the YUSA. So what you see here, it's a continuous integration server which already has configured a couple of environments, and today I'm going to focus on having on creating a dedicated environment that is going to be hosted on the same server, so-called shared hosting. So currently on this server, on this live ymcaalaska.y.org, this IP address, we have three hosts. We have dev YMCA Alaska, we have live YMCA Alaska, and we have stage YMCA Alaska. So this is how it looks, y.org. So when I open in this site, this is a stage YMCA Alaska. This is a copy of production environment without any credentials stored in the database. So we got database copy and then we provisioned this server. Now I'm going to create dev2 YMCA Alaska. For that, I'll be doing changes in a couple of places, and this for sure will look as a pretty technical thing. But this is something that we are going to automate even more to kind of remove a couple of these steps out of the equation and make everything from the UI. But currently I'm going to show you current state just to show you and for you to be aware where we are. So in order for me to create dev2 YMCA Alaska, what I need to do? I need to create a new view, dev2 YMCA Alaska. It's gonna be a list view. I'm not gonna add anything here when I create it, and this step will automate. So we are not going to create this in the future manually. Now what I need to do? I need to create these three jobs. First job is the provisioning, then import database from URL, and deploy actual code base. Code base is already prepared and it lives in the YMCA Alaska Git repository, where we added SSH key as a deploy key to this repository, which is already installed in Jenkins. So we don't need to care about credentials at this point. This Jenkins has access to this repository and has access to this server. So that is pre-configured. Now what I need to do in order to create these three jobs, but for the dev2 YMCA Alaska. And this that I'm doing right now, this is gonna be automated. So I'm going to create a new item. And I need to copy Alaska dev provisioning for the Alaska dev2 provisioning. So I'm gonna use a name Alaska dev provisioning, name it as dev2, and copy Alaska dev provisioning. This step is gonna be automated. Right now I'm doing this manually. So I'm copying it, and here what I need to do, I need to just change instance to dev2. In this, it's a parameter, so it's a parameter that is being sent to this job. I'm saving this. Now what I need to do next, I need to copy this job to dev2, right? Let's create new item and put here a name, but dev2, and copy it from dev. Here what I need to change, I need to change couple of parameters here. dev2, then Drupal dev2, then dev2 for instance, and db URL. This will be provided via user interface. And last but not the least, I need to copy deploy job. So again, creating how it looks. Dev Alaska deploy. Let me write dev Alaska deploy, rename it to dev2, and copy it from dev. Here what we have also a couple of parameters. So dev2, then I'm going to use pre-live branch from this repository, and instance name is going to be dev2. Save. Now what I need to do, I need to go and create DNS targeting on the same server. So I'm gonna add this IP address, remove proxy, and name it as dev2. dev2. This also can be automated, but it's so simple that save and boom, we have this DNS created. Now I also need to do some code changes to the infrastructure in the code. Infrastructure in the code lives in other repository, which we call YMCA Jenkins. And branch DB import, because I'm still in development process. So in this repository, I already opened it in the Visual Studio Code. What I need to do, I need to create additional instance folder. It's a settings for the specific instance. This step also can be automated. Let me show you what steps I need to do in order to copy. So I need to copy all folder, pastate it here, rename to dev2 YMCA Alaska. And the only thing that I need to change here is in inventory ini, I need to define that everything that we are going to work should go to dev2ymcaalaska.org. Now I need to go to Git, add this to the wrapper, make commit. Again, this probably will be automated because we have 180 sites, and having this as a manual step could be overwhelming for our team. So now I just need to fit introduce dev2 YMCA Alaska instance. Now push this code to repository in db import job, in the import branch. Now let's return back to the Jenkins. So we need to do a couple of steps. We need to run all these 3 jobs in order to have that site provisioned on the same server. Fast and fast, we need to run provisioning. Let's run provisioning, and this is completely without any interaction with user. This job will ensure that virtual host is installed on that server, that all needed folders prepared, the directory structure, then settings.local.php is put into the specific webhost folder that is going to be used by Drupal. Then database is created with a unique name. Then Solar is up and running, Redis server is up and running, PHP has all needed packages. So everything that is needed on that server, this job is doing and helping to ensure that the server is prepared. So technically this job runs between 5 minutes when it's initial run, or 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes when it's already was provisioned before, and it's just rechecking everything and recreating everything connected to the virtual host settings. While this job is happening, what we can do, we can actually import database. So this step is important because we are going to migrate from one hosting to another hosting, and part of the process is copy database from current site to the new environment. For that, we have a dedicated job that we created, which receives one only one parameter here, which is a external link to the database. And in DB import from URL, I already was doing import, so I'm going to use the same kind of URL. This database already exists on the data server. Data server, it's a server where we will store dumps, copy of files that are going to be reused by different environments. So instead of storing all these files on all servers, we are going to store that on one server, and then all other environments can pull information from that server. So this latest database, it's just a copy of database of production environment of Alaska. So now let me run build. So what it's gonna do is going to log into the server to create a database and to import this dump into that MySQL database. Here it is a step import DB. So while already provision happened, as you can see. Provision finished, now DB import from database, dev2 YMCA Alaska. So approximately a minute for that step for the database of Alaska. It's not a huge database. 70 seconds left. And I can verify that quickly from the server console. Show databases. Drupal dev2 YMCA Alaska database. Already created. It's done. Now we need to deploy. Deployment is a put all code base to the virtual host, prepare connection to the database, to Redis, put everything into settings PHP. Code is going to be pulled from this repository. So let's run it. And usually it takes 3 minutes to deploy. Let's see how it goes. Here is the step. Get shallow copy of repositories. You can kind of, if you have access to logs, as I do as admin user on Jenkins, I can see what's happening on that server, right? Getting shallow copy. Or if you prefer this view, you can kind of see that what it works on. So while it's working, let me explain. This all process that we have now, as you see, is semi-automated. So I still need to do a couple of manual steps in order to bring this, but going forward, we'll automate a lot of them. But now you can already understand that I'm doing this without any interruption, without any pauses. How long it will take to, for example, create a staging environment for the specific site, like testing environment for the specific site, or to migrate site from old to the new environment. So right now it takes approximately 12 minutes while I'm recording this video in order to create this new environment completely from scratch. Like you can have a fully empty server where provisioning will put all software there, then database import, then code base deployment, and that's it. So it's almost done, 11 seconds. Done. So now what I can do, it's a stage for YMCA Alaska. Let's open dev2 Alaska y.org. Yes, the only one thing that I forgot to do is in settings PHP, there is a trusted host patterns array that we need to tune as well. And I had, like, it's better to do this before deployment. Now we will wait additional 2 minutes until this code will be deployed to this environment. So I'm gonna commit this and enable this into trusted host patterns and run deployment one more time. Let's go to dev to Alaska and run deploy. So now we will wait 3 minutes for the code to be refreshed on the site, and here you should see it's already response from the Drupal, just a problem with configuration that I missed. Now in 3 minutes you'll see the copy of that site, which I already have like on stage YMCAAlaska.org. Let's see. Yeah, it's copying repository. All the steps. You can skip this video 1 minute forward. I just want to be fair. Everything that you see here can be done in parallel. So let's say if you want to deploy a couple of different sites, you can run them and they will execute these tasks in parallel. Without there is not going to be a lot of interference, a lot of kind of slowness when you run a couple of tasks, especially when they will be running on different servers. If they on the same server, there could be some slowness because server will be more loaded, but on different servers there is nothing to interfere. 6 seconds. Finish. It's running clear cache already on that side. Success. Let's open it. First time opening after clear cache. Boom. Does work. Everything works well. So this is it. This is a status as of today. It's a September 30. I did this in 19 minutes from the beginning to the end with one mistake which took me 3 minutes. And technically we are going to automate a couple of steps here. Maybe creation of instance in the code base. It's a first step to automate. Second step is probably trusted host patterns should be also automated. That's important. And we can even automate DNS creation here. The only thing that is not automatic, it's creation of droplet on the hosting provider, But it also can be done if we talk about DigitalOcean or we talk about Microsoft Azure. We can leverage API and create these droplets automatically from here from Jenkins when we do provisioning. It just needs to be first step in provisioning. Thank you for listening, and next week we'll see even more exciting news. Goodbye.